We are moving on to stage 2 of chair yoga. So to start off with stage 2, we're going to go through some of the joint movements again, just as a little bit of warm up. So we'll start with the toes, wiggling the toes, scrunching the toes and spreading the toes out, scrunching and spreading, scrunching and spreading, coming up onto the toes and back onto the heels, up onto the toes, back onto the heels, opposite one toe, one heel, opposite one toe, one heel, and then stretching out the legs and lifting at the hips. Spinal rolling all the way through the spine. And because that is such a good one, we're going to do a whole nother one of that. Taking the shoulders around in a nice big circle. Taking the shoulders around in a nice big circle in the opposite direction. Taking one shoulder back and the other shoulder back. Bringing one shoulder forward and the other shoulder forward. Good. Moving the elbows. Moving the wrists. Taking the hands around in a nice big circle. Taking the hands around in a nice big circle in the opposite direction. Wiggling your fingers. Scrunching your fingers up into a ball and spreading out. Scrunching and spreading. Scrunching, spreading. My favorite one's moving the head from side to side. Good. Ears towards the shoulders. And then chin in towards the chest, over to the right armpit, down to the left, down to the right, and down to the left. Beautiful. From here, I'm going to get you to take your arms out to the side. We're just going to reach from one side over to the other side. So just nice and slowly. I want you to imagine that there's maybe an apple, maybe a piece of chocolate, depending on what you like, just out of your reach, and you really want to reach. I want you to keep your bottom still. I want the reaching to be as much in the spine as possible. Good. And then from here, taking the arms all the way up overhead, reaching through one set of fingers and reaching through the other set of fingers. Again, we're really trying to get all the way along the spine. So you want to reach as high as possible. Maybe imagine chocolate. That's what gets you through. Good. And releasing the arms. From here, imagine that there's a pencil in the very crown of your head. We're going to take that pencil around in a nice big circle. This one's not for people who get a little bit of seasickness or motion sickness, but for everyone else, this is a really lovely movement of the spine. So as you swing around in the circle, all of the joints all the way up are being twisted and the stomach muscles are switching on and switching off. Good. Pausing, and then we'll come back in the opposite direction. Nice big circles. Beautiful. I've got a little bit of a creaky chair there. Hope that's not too loud for you. All right, coming back into the center. The next one, it is a spine movement, but we're going to use our hands to do this one. So take your hands onto your legs. We're going to slide the hands down towards the knees, and it's like a mini spinal roll. I just want you to make a giant C shape with your body. And then sliding the hands back, squeeze the shoulders back together, sliding the hands forward, rounding the spine, sliding the hands back, squeeze the shoulders together, sliding the hands forward and rounding. This is a really good one to notice how your spine is moving. So is it nice and easy to move? Is there a little bit that feels a little bit stuck or feels like it needs a little bit more attention? Maybe you'd like to concentrate on that section. Beautiful. Coming back into the center, I'm going to get you to take your right arm out in front, grab a hold with your left hand, pulling both arms forward, take your upper back backwards. See if you can feel a nice big stretch in between the shoulder blades. Good, releasing the arms. Changing over, so pulling both arms forward, take your upper back backwards. Again, feel that stretch between the shoulder blades. Good, releasing the arms. For the next one, I'm going to turn onto the side, just so that you can see what's going on behind my back. You can stay sitting the way that you are. I'm going to get you to take your hands back behind you. If the chair's in the way or if your flexibility is not good, you can grab a hold of forearms or wrists or fingers. If you do have flexibility in your chair, and some people even manage to go around the chair, interlock your fingers with straight arms. From here, squeeze your shoulder blades back together. And I had somebody tell me that the instruction that they really like is putting your shoulders into your back pockets. You should, in this position, feel quite a deep opening and stretch through the chest and the front of the shoulders. If you don't feel that, or if you just feel that there's a little bit more room to move, then I want you to think about lifting your arms up away from your body. But don't let the shoulders and the back round forward, because then you're really not stretching anything. You've got to keep shoulders together, chest open, and then we can lift up from there. Beautiful. Release the arms. Give your shoulders a little bit of a wiggle and a move. I'll turn back around to the front. The next deep stretch that we're going to do for this episode is, I think, probably the most important one that we'll do. The reason I think that this is the takeaway one or the most important one is because this is the one that I often prescribe people when I treat them osteopathically. The reason that a lot of people really need this stretch is because most people sleep on their side, and most people sleep more on one side than the other. When you sleep on one side, you kind of hitch up the other side. So this bit in here becomes short. That's not really a problem. Often you can become short in your back after years and years of sleeping like that, and it doesn't affect anything. What it usually eventually does is affects further down. Particularly for women, it seems to get them in the hip joints. Then we get hip pain. We walk around with hip pain. This is just an example. There's all kinds of other things. Until it's too late, and then I end up treating the hips, when really some stretches like this every day actually would have lengthened out that back and not put extra pressure on the hip. So, having thoroughly scared you, this is the takeaway one for today. Pop your right hand down beside your chair. We're going to bend over to the right side, so just drop it down towards the ground as much as you can. Coming back up to the center. Left arm down towards the ground and back up to the center. Depending on how you're going, you might like to add some breathing into this one. So what you would do is breathe in as you go over to the side. That'll open up this rib cage. Breathe out as you come back up to the center. Breathe in as you go over to the side. And breathe out as you come back up to the center. Breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. And I know that a lot of people's work at the moment is on Zoom. So you probably can't do this one whilst you're on a Zoom call. But if you do ever use the old-fashioned telephone, this is a great one. Nobody can see you. You're sitting down talking. Person's got your full attention anyway. All you're doing is adding a little bit of extra side bending. Good. All right, we're going to add a little bit more onto this. So I'm going to get you to lift your left arm up. That's breathing in. This time we're going to breathe out to go over to the side. And I want you to reach through these fingertips. So fingertips reach, bottom reaches down. Breathe in and breathe out. 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 One more on each side. Breathe in to breathe out and breathe in to breathe out. Beautiful. Coming back into the center. If you need to, always feel free to give your shoulders a little bit of a wiggle and a move. Sometimes, particularly when we start yoga, we come into these positions that cause a lot of tension. That's not the purpose. You're supposed to keep relaxed and keep breathing whilst you do these positions. When we start off, sometimes these positions create a little bit of tension. When you come out of the position, if you can relax your shoulders or relax whatever part of the body, eventually your body puts together, that was the movement. This is how it feels to let go of any tension. That was the movement. This is how it feels. That was the movement. This is how it feels. That's how it feels to do the movement and relax at the same time. So your body kind of puts them together, but only if you let go of the tension afterwards. Beautiful. All right, we're going to do a couple of those spinal rolls. So hands down onto the legs. Slide the hands all the way forward. Relax your head, your neck, and your shoulders. Really, it doesn't matter if you don't get down as far as I am, but really let your belly, let your arms, let your head completely soften and relax. Good. Breathing in to uncurl all the way back up. And depending if you have low blood pressure, you might want to take a little moment to let your head readjust. Good. Doing one more. So sliding all the way down, gently, 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 gently. Relax. Relax your head, relax your arms, relax your belly. And nice and slowly uncurl all the way up. Beautiful. All right, from here I'm going to get you to make a stop sign with your hand. Take a hold of your fingers, pull your fingers back towards you, push your wrist forward, and we're looking for a deep stretch in that wrist, forearm, hand, somewhere along that line of your body. Changing over Making a stop sign with the other hand, pulling it in, pushing your wrist forward. Releasing the hand, fingers down, pulling the fingers back in towards you, pushing the wrist forward. Good. Taking the other hand down, pulling the fingers back in towards you and pushing the wrist forward. Good. Releasing, you might like to give a little bit of a wiggle and a move. Often people say that when they finish that, they can feel quite a lot of extra blood in their hands. Good. All right, the next one is not for the faint-hearted. If you have any kind of neck problems, dizziness, vertigo, suffer from migraines, I'd probably start off with you doing this neck one without your hands. So that would be simply taking the head over to the side. If, however, you're fit, healthy, never had any neck problems in your life, what I'm going to get you to do is sit on your hands. The sitting on your hands helps to anchor your shoulders down, so that now when we take the head over to the side, the shoulder absolutely can't come with us, and what we get is a very, very deep, deep neck stretch. Good. Coming back into the center and over to the side. Good. Releasing, coming back into the center and releasing the hands. Beautiful. So that's deep stretches of the upper body. Thank you very much for joining me. Namaste.